everybody, today we're at Seagull Market. Soft Shell Crab Festival is happening. The festival is happening this weekend in Port Royal. We're going to check out Craig and see what he's up to. We've known Craig for a while, so this is should be a surprise for him. Hey,
What's
Craig.
going on, buddy?
Not much, man. How are you?
Getting ready for soft shell crab season.
That's why I'm here. Soft Shell Crab's coming up this weekend, Port Royal.
Yep.
What do you got going on?
It's the 19th. I think it's 11 to 5, and it's a huge festival down on Paris Avenue.
It is.
Good to see you, buddy.
Yes, sir.
So I'm just cleaning up some crabs. Actually, I'm not open today on Monday, so just in here doing some prep.
Excellent. I've never had soft shell crab. I've been here 28 years, and as you know, I'm trying new foods, and this is a big one.
Okay.
This is huge.
This is outside the box for sure.
Oh, 100%. I'm nervous right here just being next to these guys.
Well, how about this? I ain't got a lot going on. Let's go in the kitchen. I'm gonna show you how we clean them, how we prepare them, and let's go make us a soft shell crab sandwich for lunch.
I think I'm ready.
Well,
what comes into when prepping these things? What do you typically
Okay, so the big process is they're caught in the rivers and the creeks as peeler crabs.
Okay.
So that's the initial harvest, and then they're taken to dealers who have tables, and that's a 2 or 3 day, 24-hour process to where that peeler crab sheds its exoskeleton and basically doubles in size, and then they would re-harden in the wild. But because they're in containment, you catch them at the perfect time. So super soft. But you want a little bit of structure so they have some shelf life for retail. But these are really perfect, you know, just nice and soft.
Yeah.
And they're basically kept alive.
Okay.
In you know, your coolers or whatever. So these are all live crabs. And then basically, if you'd like, I'll show you how we clean them.
Yeah, please, let's see.
All right, so the first thing we do is we just snip off the face. All right, and get rid of that. And then we're gonna take the gills out on both sides.
All right. So is it customary? Is that a Southern American?
Yeah, so, and then the sex organ. That's the three things that we do to clean the crab. The crab is pretty clean and pristine throughout this process because they've been taken out the river and into, you know, tanks of clear and clean water. So there's no sand, no grit. Our, you know, Asian friends or whatever, they don't clean them at all. And then, you know, if it was my mama or my grandmother, they would go a step further and they would maybe stick the forks in here and get the eggs out. They wouldn't want the yellow or the mustard.
Okay.
I like to leave that in there, so I leave all that. But some people do all kinds of things, so they would actually really clean this crab, get all that mustard out.
Yeah.
But we typically leave that in there.
Okay.
All right. So if you're ready,
yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah. And cut. All right, so we're in the kitchen now. Let's see what's going on.
All right, so we got our crabs. They really stand on their own. The flavors is awesome. Today I'm just going to use some crab boil spice. You can use salt, pepper. Some people like lemon pepper. Some people do garlic. I mean, it's an open canvas.
Okay.
So
you sell this here in the shop?
Yep, so this is regular. We have regular garlic and hot and spicy far as that, but this is just like a crab boil spice. So don't want to overdo it, but this will be our salt component. And then if you want it a little bit inside, you know, you can do this as much or as little as you want. We'll flip them over and just get a little bit on both sides.
Does it make a difference doing this before, or why not have this in the breading?
And you could do that. You could have a seasoned breader. If you have a favorite breader that's already done, I'm using self-rising flour.
Okay.
So this is kind of basic. I'm gonna let the crab stand on its own. We use evaporated milk. It's kind of like a secret ingredient for our shrimp to give you that calabash style shrimp, and we do the same thing on the crab. No egg wash because that makes a heavier batter. So we do our shrimp and our crab with evaporated milk.
Okay. Little Seagull Market secret.
Yep, little secret on your show today. So just get a nice little dip of the milk here, and then just go into your breader or your flour. Now this is self-rising flour. And that's basically all we do is shake it off and
Okay.
go.
Okay. So no, not very thick, not a lot.
A light batter. But
Okay.
if you wanted, some people like a little bit heavy, so you could go back and do it twice.
Double
so
dip.
you could double dip, and again, that's personal preference.
Okay.
So according to how much breader you want.
Yeah.
So either way, that milk really sticks to it, and you know, sometimes you might go just inside here to give you just a little bit in here. But that's the basic concept. It is a little seasoning, whatever your favorite flavor profile. You can go as simple as self-rising flour, or you know, your favorite breader, or a gluten-free breader.
Okay.
You know,
For sure. I get that. Okay.
You can do whatever you want, and so this is the basic.
Okay.
This is basic.
So come festival day, when you're in fourth gear, ready to roll.
1,200 crabs in 5 hours.
So what? Same process, or is it pre-done ahead of time and prepped and ready to
Nope,
go?
it's done.
Doing right there.
Yep.
Okay.
So we're cooking at, you know, we're not necessarily cooking to order because it's high volume,
Right.
but we're cooking, you know,
Yeah.
we got 3 fryers running wide open.
Okay.
And festivals are kind of, each festival is unique. So if it's not as busy, we have a broader menu.
Okay.
The busier festivals, we bring the menu in really tight, and
Yeah.
soft shell is really busy.
Okay.
So basically, we're going to do soft shell crabs and shrimp, and then maybe slaw and French fries.
That's
you
it.
know, so it's going to
Keep
be
it
a
simple.
real tight menu.
Yeah, it works. I
So
like it. Okay.
That's
Well,
the plan.
I'm regretting trying. I mean, honestly, I haven't tried it yet, but I'm really
You getting a little nervous,
I
or
am,
you're feeling confident?
no, not confident at all. There's no confidence level with this. at all.
Well, that's going to make it fun, then.
For you, we're gonna make some sauce. All right. So you said you're gonna make a yum yum sauce. Now,
Yep.
is this what I would find at my local Asian hibachi spot?
Yeah, with a little bit of southern kick, but it's basic yum yum.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Now, if anybody's watching this outside of South Carolina or the South, yum yum is not in the United States everywhere.
right,
When we go to California, we'll go to hibachi, and they don't serve a yum yum sauce.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Cameraman's from California, native,
right.
and never heard of it. So
Okay.
it's a Southern thing.
So I mean, with crab, sometimes we do a tartar sauce.
Okay.
So that's a different flavor profile. I have a Captain Craig sauce, which is the remoulade, you know,
Okay.
kind of texture, but a little hot and spicy. But today I was just going to do a basic yum yum, because a lot of people don't really know what yum yum is.
No, they just go and get it and
Yeah,
can ask for yum yum sauce.
You're probably better off not knowing. But the basic ingredients is mayonnaise, ketchup,
See, I didn't know ketchup was in it.
and vinegar,
Okay.
and a lot of sugar.
Woo! That's why I love it.
Yeah.
That's why I love it.
So that's your basic yum yum. Of course, today we're going to kick it up just a little bit with our Lowcountry boil spice, because we're doing crab, and we're going to hit it with my favorite Frank's hot
Okay.
sauce.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to kind of jack it up just a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Yum yum sauce on steroids.
yeah, it's just a little yum yum with a little kick. But that's basically yum yum sauce. Mayonnaise, ketchup, vinegar, and sugar.
Okay.
And then you get your flavor profile.
Was there a ratio of how much sugar to vinegar and all that, or you just obviously you've been doing it for a while?
Yeah, so I kind of play with the stuff. I've never had a recipe.
Okay.
I just take something that I like, and then I go try to create it.
I understand that. Okay.
So we're just playing with. This was not measured. I just poured stuff out.
Sugar to taste.
Yeah, just kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then maybe do something like that.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna feed it to me.
No, I'll pass on that, brother. But that's not bad.
That's not bad. That's good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's really good.
So
I would say that's spot on.
all right, well,
Yeah.
there we go. So we need to cook some crabs now.
Yeah, let's do it. So next step is to fry these bad boys.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right. So one of the key things is we like to fry in peanut oil.
Okay.
So that might splash.
Yeah,
They will pop a little bit. So getting burned is a casualty.
Yeah, for sure. I got a little experience in the restaurant business.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
So, and also I love my bread toasted.
Okay.
So we got a potato roll here today.
Is that what you serve on at the festival? Is a potato roll?
Yes, sir.
Well? Okay.
We got to feed Mr. Tony too, right?
Yeah. Cameraman gets some food as well today.
Okay, so we'll start with 3.
Yeah.
Looks like
I don't think I'll be having seconds.
you haven't had them yet, so
That's true.
I've got you set up for seconds. How about that?
Okay.
If not, I'm pretty sure Tony will eat 3.
Yeah.
Correct.
So peanut oil, and then how do you know when you're flipping them? You just
Yeah, I mean, we're going to want golden brown.
okay.
So I just checked, and again, if I'm in my fryer, if I'm in my food truck, I'm set at 350.
Okay,
So
understood.
350 degrees is what you want. A
But at
frying
home.
pan, you're going to adjust up or down.
Okay.
You know, so a medium-high heat.
Have you been cooking as long as you've been shrimping?
So my parents bought their first restaurant when I was 9 years old.
Okay.
So I started bussing tables at 9.
Okay.
So I actually was probably in a restaurant before I was on a boat. Maybe, you know,
Okay.
well, obviously I was on a boat when I was little.
Understood, yeah.
But far as I started shrimping the summer of my 14th or 15th year.
Okay. So you had some time in the restaurant prior to that.
So, yep.
Okay. How do you know when it's done? Is it like if I was at home, am I taking temperature?
You know, I guess you could probe it
Yeah.
and maybe go 200 on
Okay.
the internal.
Okay.
But I've never done that, so
Okay.
you might have to do some research. I'm wanting golden brown, so I'm
Okay, so
still a
that's what you're
little
looking
light.
for. Okay.
Yep, I want it crispy and golden brown. So see how this is getting,
Yeah.
Just-
it looks a little bubbled up, a little.
and if you could feel it, you know, you feel that shell
Okay.
getting crispy,
Yeah.
but you see that little bit of
I
dark
do
brown.
see- Okay. It's like a
So-
good fried pork chop.
Exactly.
Okay.
You know, so you don't want it overcooked, but you want to make sure that it's done. So
Okay.
I'm not sure where we're at on time, but these are getting really, really close. That
Okay.
golden
That one
brown
right
right
there.
there,
I see it.
that's what we want.
Okay.
And
Do you prefer stainless steel or like a cast iron skillet over another type?
at home, my favorite pan is cast iron.
Okay.
In the restaurant, I use mostly aluminum.
Okay.
For my soups, my roundo is stainless.
Okay.
It seems to do well. So I like all 3,
Okay.
each having its own, you know, special. But if you ask my wife, she's going to tell you that I'm an iron skillet guy.
Okay.
I love iron skillet.
All right. So we're back. We got them. What's happening?
All right, so you got fried soft shells now. So you've went from a live soft shell just a few minutes ago to ready to go.
Yeah.
So it's your first time, so you have to start with a claw. So here we go. Bon appetit.
Here goes nothing. No sauce. No nothing. Just
Let's
straight
just
claw.
do that. That's it. In the beard. Have some for later.
The flavoring, the breading is great. Yeah. I mean, that's not bad at all.
You got it pretty good.
No.
Well, so let's hit our bun just a little bit with a light sauce.
Wow.
Let's put that crab across there,
All right.
and we're gonna just hit a little drizzle on the crab
Okay.
and cap that off. And that's it. That's a simple soft shell crab.
I'm still nervous, even though I just had that one bite.
Well, all those little legs are delicious, so you can't go wrong.
That sauce is.
That sauce is not bad either.
Mm. All right.
Little that gives you a little sweetness, you know.
It does. Just trying not to think of what I'm eating.
Yeah. Well, I feel that way
You know what I
about
mean?
frog legs and beef tongue. I think you just had some beef tongue.
I did.
So I get it. Crabs in my wheelhouse, so it's not out. You know, I've kind of grew up with crabs in my life. So
Mhm. So that was a bigger bite, more meaty.
right. So now you're away from the claw or the legs,
Yeah.
and now you're getting into the white meat of the crab. So yeah, when you get in the middle, you're gonna have that mustard and a little bit, you know, more of a.
I'm
Yeah.
just envisioning what I saw in there.
Yeah, so actually you start on the outside, so you're gonna get a little more wilder as we go.
All right, well, go ahead and make you one and enjoy
All
it, 'cause
right,
I
let's
know
go.
You've been waiting. Cameraman wants to have a bite. So, Soft Shell Crab Festival is this weekend.
Yeah, it's the 19th.
The 19th in Port Royal.
Yep.
11 to 5, right?
11 to 5.
Port Royal's fantastic for these events, and the Soft Shell Crab Festival is always a big hit.
I think it's the biggest one-day festival in Beaufort.
I would agree with that. Yeah,
You
people
know.
love soft shell crab equally as much as they love oysters.
Yep. Shrimp festival's huge, but that's
It
a
is.
2-day event.
It is, so it doesn't feel as.
Yeah, so that soft shell crab for 5 or 6 hours, it's slamming. Come early.
Yeah. So if you guys are out and available for Port Royal, come out this weekend, see Craig and a whole bunch of other vendors, and then have yourself a soft shell crab. I did. Craig, I appreciate this so much.
We set you up, so now you're ready.
Did you set the bar too high though? That's what I'm afraid of.
Well, you know which
I know where
trailer
to-
which trailer to come to.
Yeah, for sure. I know that. I always hit Seagull Market anytime I see the trailer at whatever festival.
Well, we appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Craig. Thanks, everybody.